Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live Reflections. Today, we have the privilege of hosting Shankar Sivan, a dynamic entrepreneur and seasoned strategist who has been at the forefront of shaping the renewable energy landscape. We find a remarkable blend of strategic vision, entrepreneurial spirit, and a deep rooted commitment to sustainability in Shankar. His journey from consulting to renewable energy entrepreneurship is a testament to his relentless pursuit of excellence and his unwavering dedication to making a positive impact on society. Welcome, Shankar. Can you share your journey into the renewable energy sector and what inspired you to focus on this industry?
Thanks, Bharathi, and nice to be here. My journey into renewable energy has been from my postgrad. I graduated from IIM Indore. So at that point in time, I was doing research. I was part of a student consulting firm called Share. Share is a global organization started by ex-McKinsey founders, I guess. One person called Sebastian and a couple of others. And I was a consultant with them while I was studying in Indore. So my research and thesis was in peak oil theory, stating that the whole theory is very simple that there's only a limited amount of oil that is available in the world. And once you start digging it beyond a point, extraction becomes difficult because you already peaked. And then extracting the next bit of oil becomes even more harder. And once that becomes harder, then but the demand is continuing to rise. Supply is not that cheap, which means if you have to pull out oil which was 100 feet deep, it can cost you maybe $1. But if you have to go further deep down and pull out oil from maybe 3,000 feet deep, then it becomes $10. So the cost of that oil will become uh, more and more. So that inflection point is called peak oil theory, and there is then peak water, peak every resource is there. I always wondered what will happen to us when once we peak in different resources that we kind of extract from the world, be it crude oil, be it different kind of minerals. So that kind of led me, and I did very deep research on peak oil, when it will happen, what will be the effect, what will be the effect on oil producing countries, like Nigeria, what will be the effect on richer oil producing companies like countries like Saudi, effect on importing countries like India, so on and so forth. It was very deep analysis, and that kind of has always led me and to kind of think about what we'll do. And yeah, that has been the start. That was in 2013, 2012, 2013. And then I think around that time, solar started in India, I think 2010, and then picked up in 2015 when the new government came in play. And yeah, and my own journey has been with a couple of solar companies, not by not by choice, but I think it just so happened. And uh, then I worked with a couple of renewable energy companies from the past, uh, more focused on rooftop solar. That's kind of the focus that I have now. And yeah, Wellfund is a startup that I'm kind of currently building, which is into rooftop solar loans. We try and give loans. We try and make financing easy for rooftop solar adoption. So because solar has upfront cost and therefore financing plays a big role. And our aim is to try and see if we can introduce financing in many other asset classes, which will kind of accelerate adoption, be it energy efficiency, solar, so on and so forth.
But how did
Yeah,
you get
that's
into oil researching? Like, do you have anybody in your family who are
yeah.
from that?
Dad worked with ONGC,
Oh,
so always talked about. He used to go to Bombay High, and so then I used to talk to him as to how the oil is extracted. And then I always wondered what will happen once the oil is over. He used to say that no, it's there for many years, but it's that question has lingered, and yeah, that led me to research. Yes,
that's nice
so he
to.
retired from ONGC,
Oh,
GM
okay.
production.
So,
Yeah.
what have been some pivotal moments or turning points in your career? And what advice would you give to someone looking to start a career in the renewable energy sector?
Pivotal moments. I've been, I think, the one of the pivotal moments is when SunEdison filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the US. Uh, After that, the deal, they were selling off all over the world. They were the world's largest back then. So India also was sold off in bits and pieces. Couple of bits and pieces was acquired by the company that I was working with. So that kind of was a pivotal moment. I drove the deal. I was more into finance, not even finance, more into merger acquisition, very strategic. So drove the deal, but I think more pivotal was when I actually started operating the new acquired, not operating in kind of joined as an operating role. I was doing many things around everything, recruitment, strategy, fundraise, legal, so on and so forth, and to grow the company. We also were providing solar water pumps for agarias in Little Run of Kutch. These are salt pan workers. Uh, Kind of got my hands dirty with that. Went to the Run of Kutch, met with these agarias. So incidentally, you also went and stayed there for a few days. I remember that.
Yeah.
So so yeah, I think if I were to say pivotal moments, one is I got a bird's eye view of kind of what the asset class is when I acquired SunEdison. Then went to grassroots level to see how it kind of impacts the life of agarias. So I've kind of seen at a very top level and also at a been kind of opportunities blessed with this opportunity, but I think kind of being hands-on has always kind of, that I would say is most pivotal and kind of led me to what I'm doing.
And what advice you would give to the career aspirants in renewable energy sector for the students? What do you want to say to them?
Yeah, I think what I would say is I think there's this famous picture of I think in the US there's I think in Times Square or wherever it was, there's a road full of horse-driven carriages. Nobody thought that things would change, and I think in a few years the entire road was replaced with diesel cars, which was made by Ford. Um, Solar is in such a moment where I think we're just at the start of revolution. Even after 10 years, I think right now it's start of inflection where solar, I think it's going to be the de facto energy resource for us going forward. Everything will be decentralized. There may not be grids. All energy will be decentralized production and consumption. So projecting ourselves 10 years into the future, I can see that every home, every building, every place has a solar and battery to kind of produce energy for that place. So it's a great, from that perspective, it's a great space to be in. And there's a lot of research that keeps happening. There's space for everyone to come in, be it someone who's interested in finance and doing something in finance and solar, be it someone interested in technology. There's a lot of work in battery technology and solar technology, kind of looking at the panel, the cells in the panel. Uh, there is perovskites. There's a lot of work happening in the cell technology itself. So, and be it in supply chain, be it in engineering. So, take any field, there's kind of the space for everyone to come and participate. So, I think it cuts across all domains, all kind of functions, and world also needs young, bright minds to kind of innovate and make this happen. And this is the curve is kind of we are on that curve to make it happen. So so yeah, I
Awesome.
think this probably next 10 years would be probably the early guys who joined Ford would have made it big, and I think the same would go for solar. Early guys who come into solar would make it really big in the next 10 years.
That's an awesome
Yeah,
insight. What are
yeah.
some key skills and qualifications that are in demand in the solar energy sector or in renewable energy industry?
No, it depends. It depends. Large, you would see that again within solar there's multiple space. For example, there's big boys like Adani, Renew Power, Tata Power. You find them doing infrastructures level projects. Now there the key elements required is engineering, this kind of putting together the plant and detail engineering and all that is key skill. It can make or break a project. And then financing is another key skill in infrastructure projects. Now, if you scale it down to, let's say, I put solar in my rooftop on your rooftop, that is a retail solar. It's not same as the infrastructure. So that requires, I think, a lot more sales, marketing kind of skill, little bit of installation skills, right? But sales and marketing, I would say. Unlike in any other industry, I think sales, especially ability to sell, is a valuable skill. And I think if someone is interested, and it's a low entry barrier also. Yeah, even anybody can, even a fresh graduate can start a solar company. Um, there are about, I think, India has about 50,000 solar installers. Out of that, 20,000 is about registered, which means they have a GST organized. This number is expected to kind of be exponential in the coming years. There's also policy that is in the right direction. Modi ji has announced big subsidies for him. 1 crore homes is announced. It's a huge target.
Wow.
1 crore homes is actually 30 gigawatt. And to give you context, India totally in the last 2010 till 24, 14 years, ground mount, rooftop, floating solar, all put together would have achieved about 70 gigawatt.
My goodness.
So rooftop solar alone, 30 gigawatt is a huge target. It's a very, very steep target, but that's the kind of potential that's available in India. So there's space for everyone. So to summarize, engineering is key skill area. Financing is a key skill area. Um, Sales and marketing from a retail solar perspective is a very key area. And
The
then there's
engineering
supply chain.
specific, sorry to interrupt. Engineering is like electrical engineering, civil engineers, because there is so
Electrical.
much electrical.
Yeah, electrical. There's some work for mechanical and civil, but there's a small portion of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, electrical is more key.
What about AI? Are you using AI, integrating AI with the renewable energy sector
There's
for
some
data analysis?
AI. For example, there's always a big problem. For example, in solar, if I have a huge plant and I'm selling it to TNEB, I need to schedule ahead. Next 15 minutes, I need to tell them that how much power am I going to export. So there's day ahead, there's 15-minute ahead. I think in India it's day ahead. So you have to forecast it properly. And if you don't forecast it, you end up having penalties and all that. So forecasting is a big area in solar. Solar forecasting is a huge area. There's always scope to kind of make it better. So AI will play a big role, and climate modeling will play a big role.
What about
Yeah. So,
freezing, frozen?
solar monitoring a little to a certain extent been done to death by a lot of people. That's kind of extract every bit of value is extracted from whatever we. Well, in it's more tangible, right? It's just not tech. So tech will enable it, but at the end of the day, someone has to go to the field and can use tool for AI, but it's not the only thing.
So data analyst also is required, right? Like large number of in
For
the
solar forecasting, I think is the area that
forecast.
it's still not mature.
Okay.
Even for example, I know of few food companies which will need that. There, Helioscope and a couple of others do it. I don't know what is accuracy for.
Okay, so what are your long-term goals for Wellfund and impact you hope to achieve?
The impact I would achieve is to see if we can kind of accelerate adoption. So how do we measure acceleration of adoption? Is currently rooftop solar, residential. Let's take residential rooftop solar is about 100 megawatt, 200 megawatt a year. So then, if we can kind of accelerate that, that will be the aim of it, what we are doing. But we're not the only ones doing this. There are a lot of banks are jumping in, a couple of NBFCs are coming. So it's hard to kind of say that well fund will kind of make the entire country adopt solar. So it's not possible. But yeah, a kind of long-term goal is to participate and contribute in this, make it happen.
Awesome. All the best. And we have come to an end of our show. So, last words, like how important is mentorship in the renewable energy sector? How can newcomers find mentors?
I don't know. I think there are a lot of forums that kind of has renewable energy professionals. There's climate jobs. There's specific portals that only focus on climate jobs and so on and so forth. So I think that's a great starting point. LinkedIn is a great way to connect with people. So yeah, I think.
How about WellFund? You are pioneer in this industry, right? You can be a guide to the students. You can.
I am. A lot of people. I do keep getting requests from people who want to, let's say, start solar business. They ask me which dealership to take, Vari, Tata, so on, so forth, things like that. Very pragmatic questions. So happy to answer those questions. Happy to be a mentor. The more, the merrier. But
we would be happy if you can go to schools and tell them that there is an area like this, because nobody considers renewable energy source. Even when you talk to students, 12th standard students, they will never say, I want to get into renewable energy sector. So
what do they say then? What are the areas you see are most sought after?
It's still the same. It's doctor, engineer, engineer, and they talk about commerce means chartered accountant. So it's still the basic those few. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I think renewable energy, yeah, got it. No, even a doctor, of course, cannot be in renewable energy, but engineers, many engineers can be in renewable energy. Finance, CAs can be in renewable energy. So the domain cuts across many functions, like I said. The kid can be interested in engineering and have a specific goal that I'll be in engineering in renewable energy. Then there are actually now courses that is I know, for example, in IIT Madras there is one particular course for energy economics, things like that. What I would state is a rather more wholesome aspiration to kind of try something, right, in renewable energy, and the world needs it. In sustainability, it has to be, maybe I think has to be slightly larger than renewable energy. It can be sustainability, and that covers water. And renewable energy is just energy, right? So that covers water, and there is quality of air. Then there is plastic and menace of plastic. Then so there's the food, right? So sustainable food. So sustainability kind of cuts across many areas, and I would suggest for all kids to kind of look at it, because that's the need of the hour, and get interested with it, and try to do something with it. And it can be from any field.
Thank you so much, Shankar, for joining me. This was a very insightful and informative session, and our students will gain a lot from this podcast. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bharathi.